strengthening. I want to start. I want to start with the main story really today about news going around about Victor Osimhen, of course, from Napoli. Many reports coming from Italy saying that Osimhen wants to move to Arsenal or, of course, Saudi Arabia. And we know does have a bit of a price tag. I think it's 110 million for Osimhen. But do you see Arsenal going in for Victor Osimhen? And if so, do you think he'd be the guy for Arsenal?
Well, it's a very difficult situation for me to see Arsenal going for Victor Osimhen this summer. I mean, that bit of commitment in January, in my opinion, was a mistake on Osimhen's side. It was a plus on Napoli's side because they get to have the power they want in negotiations this summer. And I think they also anticipated that the striker market would be big, but I don't think it's going to be as big as clubs paying hundreds of millions for for a player like Victor Osimhen. We've just had the Chelsea don't see him as the as the right profile, but they just don't see the deal as financially what they want to do. They want to do something like 50 to 60 million as well. And I think that's what Arsenal are also going to try to do. 50 to 60 million, or even we might extend it to around 70 million, but I don't see how Osimhen's price drops from 100 to 70 million. So if you're going to do 70 million and you don't get Benjamin Sesko, maybe if we were to get him, if we don't get him, then maybe that's where you get a Victor Gyökeres, maybe. But I don't see Osimhen drop. So it was a very good tie, a very, very good move from Napoli to actually tie him down. But on the player side, I just don't see why he would actually, why he would have done that, knowing that 4 months, 4 months later or 5 months later, he was actually going to have a chance to move to any other club. So for me, I don't see Arsenal do this deal. I don't see us go in there, negotiate for 100 million. I know Arsenal can spend 100. We have spent it before, and I'm not saying that we don't have that spending power. I'm just looking at Osimhen, and I'm just looking at all the other players Arsenal linked with, and I'm like, are we going to really spend maybe half or even more than half of our budget on Osimhen? Now, I don't see that happen. Now, could he be the player that Arsenal actually need? That's a different question, because I've already said what Arsenal are lacking at the moment is a kind of a striker that is happy to score boring goals, but also a striker that is not happy when they don't score. Whether we've scored 6, whether we've scored 8, right? An assist is not any success in the records of top strikers. You look at the likes of Benzema, Robert Lewandowski, Harry Kane. I mean, their all-round game is very good, and it has always been very good. But you do not hear, pundits and fans talk about their, the rest of their game, the rest of their attributes. The reason is they have actually set the bar very high. He either scores or he didn't actually have a good game, or he actually had a quiet night, or had a quiet game. So for me, that's why I would want Osimhen. That's why I would prefer Osimhen of some of the strikers we're linked with, because with Osimhen, when I look at his skill set and when I look at his profile, number 9 that is going to score goals. If he doesn't score goals, he has actually failed. As simple as that. So, and still, I think in terms of being in the penalty area, we don't have that kind of player. Maybe Edin Ketia, we would say, but of course we know the finishing quality, and the manager no longer trusts him the way he did, maybe we would say last season. So we don't have that kind of player that, as the likes of Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka look to impact the other areas of the pitch out wide. He wants to be in the penalty area. His moves are towards the penalty area. Most of our players, their moves are actually away from the penalty area, trying to create space. I think Kai has done it very well this season. He's been running into that box very well. Credit to him. But I still don't think if I put Osimhen there, I think I would get more goals from more goals from that position and from the chances that Kai Havertz has got, give or take. So I would say yes, Arsenal need Victor Osimhen. Yes, he is the profile we need. But I don't see the deal happening. It's too expensive. And I don't think he's been on top of his game for the last 1 year.
Yeah, no, very well said, Kosi there. I thought you made some, great points. And yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I would happily take someone like Victor Osimhen in a heartbeat. And, even for Napoli this season, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the drop-off and the decline that they've had this season. I don't even think they finished top 10. So, they had an awful season, but he still managed to, I think, score 15 goals for them. So he is the type of striker that I think would suit us perfectly. But yeah, I'm with you as well there. I just don't. It'd be very unlikely for me to see this deal happen.